right now, Neil?
Uh-huh.
You are in class right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why not?
Pourquoi?
I was asking the same thing on what's in the background.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of background noise in there, Neil. So maybe, just maybe, I'll have to do something about that.
Nah.
So what can I do? I can possibly go and lower your volume a little bit.
Don't do that. I'll just move it.
Come again?
I think he got caught.
You got caught.
Oh, frick.
Well, I don't know what to do.
I speak with my mom.
I'll be back.
Oof.
And he's off. Also, thank you, Kaze. Yeah, apparently my internet connection broke again for whatever reason.
And mine will probably broke too. It's raining a lot here.
I mean, it isn't raining here, but I have been having network issues for, I think, a year and a half, 2 years, ever since forever, I don't know. I've been having a lot of internet problems here, but we need to look into it eventually. Yeah.
Did something happen?
No, not really. It's just well, first of all, the modem we were using apparently wasn't super good. Then the technician came and changed it. But also they said there was some problem in the wiring on the street or some station.
It's
or
the
whatever.
most common problem we have here. Our connections are not so good.
Yeah.
Everywhere in Brazil, they are so bad. And when they give us a good modem, the cables break, some fuse boxes blows, I don't know. And then we get nothing, no signal.
Yeah, same thing here. Apparently they did fix something else somewhere else, and they did change our modem, but we still have internet issues. So the only problem that it can be now is the wiring. So somewhere from the street into our apartment, the wiring might be bad. So we're gonna have to go and do a whole rewiring of the internet. And that's not fun. And that takes a lot of time, I think.
Sounds like it.
And
Yeah, I feel your pain, dude.
and not only that, but it's probably gonna be a little expensive because I don't think they're gonna go and do that. Like, hey, sure thing, let's do that for free because you're such a good customer.
No, we never done this.
Yeah, they will charge, and I don't think it'll be a little amount. It'll be a lot.
I have to change all the wires from my house, and I don't ever want to think about the price. Because it's not just the phone and such, the electrical ones too. Some of my stuff already burned, went on flames.
Wow. So
my old computer, if I wasn't using at the time when it went on fire, it will burn the whole house.
holy shit. So that's not a good situation.
Yes.
So do you constantly live in fear? I would.
Exactly. Constantly living in fear.
Like
I
if something is gonna
I
spontaneously
open the door and I feel, oh my god, today's the day that's gonna die. No, it's just this year is my house. They done very poorly. It's a new house, but all the wirings, they done such a horrible job.
Well, then you should really look into it and try.
Yeah, I've been looking onto it for 10 years now.
Well, so long as you don't go turning on too many appliances at once, I think you'll be kind of okay.
Yeah, there was a single socket on the wall when I moved it in each room.
Huh. Oh yeah, for I don't know, for an old house, one socket in the walls into each room sounds okay, but nowadays it's not too much. So yeah,
I need around 6 on my room now.
wow. That's a lot. But yeah, do look into that, and hopefully things will get better. And I also hope that your house doesn't explode and go on fire,
Yes. Let's hope this.
because that would not be a nice thing.
And when did this happen with my computer? I was doing my graduation. The last job, I don't know how they speak English, the TCC.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I also have no idea. It's a work for your graduation. I was doing this computer and it went on fire. I lost my whole work.
Like, it actually just went on fire. It actually caught fire.
Yes, caught on fire. The SATA cable went on fire. It completely
Wow.
melted.
Was there an
Wow.
explosion?
No, but there was sparks. Some noise like fire sparkling. I don't know what was, so I started to smell smoke. I have my computer side open so I can clean it up easy. When I open up, there was fire inside.
Like some kind of fireplace or something?
Yeah, it's a portable fireplace.
You mean not like this?
How weird though.
Almost.
But
Pardon the sound effects.
but, gee, that's super weird. Although something similar almost happened to me once. I didn't get to see any explosions or fires or anything, but I had a computer and for the longest time it kept like flicking on and off randomly. And one day, I went to travel and left my computer like on for 2 days straight. Then probably it flicked back off, and I wasn't home to turn it back on. So when I came back, I found out that this power supply cable, it was super hot, so it had kind of melted a little bit. But since I left my computer off, it cooled down, and I found out that it kind of fused into the power socket.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I couldn't remove the cable, so I had to unscrew the whole thing and change the power socket to the power supply.
Dang. That's kind of weird. Never heard of that before.
Yeah, and apparently that's dangerous, because, you know, it's never good when the plastics are melting on your computer.
No way.
Yikes.
So yeah, I did
The
go...
one thing is too black today. I have the old case here. Has around 10 years, it's still black.
Yeesh. I did go and change the power supply like a year and a half later. But yeah, now I'm not living on fear of my computer exploding anymore.
That's good to know.
Yeah, those things are not super cheap though. Yeah, I mean, eventually you do learn, like, yeah, it's not okay to live afraid every day, but then again, I don't have that kind of money to spend on new pieces, so I'll learn to live with the fear. And as the connection went off, I wasn't talking to you guys, the music stopped playing. So instead of just stopping everything and kind of chilling down, I kept working. So maybe you guys have missed some of the portions of my work, but you'll be happy to know that it's finally done. The Fluffy Boy is finished.
Fluffy Boy's done. Heck.
Very
Big
thick.
fluffy boy.
And I'm gonna color it. And that'll be all for today. I'm just gonna color this fluffy boy, and then yeah, then I'll be done. And then you guys will be free to go and do whatever.
I'm never free.
Oh no.
How come?
Never.
Nothing. I was just being edgy.
If you wanna really be edgy, you have to go and play some Shadow the Hedgehog. That's the only
my
way to
gosh.
be truly edgy. Edgy, actually.
I do have here. It's so edgy.
Very
With a
edgy.
gun.
Also, I think I missed a lot of stuff you guys said in the chat. Let me see if I can find some of that though. Leo says the Wi-Fi repeaters at the hotel are older than some furnished today. I don't doubt it. Chandler said that they must have been installed in 1942 or something. Or who knows? Maybe at the time they invented the internet, they also installed those cables, those Wi-Fi repeaters. Leo said that CenturyLink is the provider, though the repeaters are still tagged as being AT&T produced in the 1990. Jelly sent a link, a video of your computer once in a day. Let me give it a quick watch.
Yes, it's 10 seconds.
That sounds lovely. I've never seen this TV show, but I kind of want to see it because I've seen
It's about my life.
so many memes.
Exactly what that works.
So many memes come from it. I kind of want to see that. Kaze says, so I have been trying to draw the hand holding a gun for 30 minutes and I don't seem to get it. Those are hard. Hands are hard. Like I keep saying and repeating, get into anatomy. It's worth it. But so what were you guys talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know. So there is no subject at hand right now. Is that so?
No.
So what do you guys want the subject to be?
We can just sit in silence.
Can silence and stare at each other.
We can be alone together.
Ah, that's so edgy though.
I was say that.
Crickets intensify.
You guys.
I need this ringtone.
You can always also plug in the old consoles and play some more Shadow the Hedgehog. Getting that daily edgy. Actually,
I actually do that. I do have a GameCube with Shadow the Hedgehog.
oh, then you get your daily dose of edginess every day.
Yes.
Hooray for that.
Edge.
Inject me with that edginess, fam.
Okay, let me go and get the references because now I need to color this boy.
References of whatever Doge that is.
Let's place it here. I don't know if that's okay, if I can show it up. And because I'm not super into...
What did you draw? Is it a bear?
It's supposed to be a dog. Just a second, a Caucasian of shark dog. It's supposed to be this fluffy boy.
It has a squirrel tail.
Oh, it's a Russian Doge.
Yeah, it's kind of this kind of dog.
Oh.
It's supposed to be this
okay.
kind of dog. So this is him with a lot of body fluff, especially on the tail. And I think this arm that is kind of folding over his head is still not looking okay. I'm not happy with it, so I'm gonna do a little fuck up with it. Because that's what, oh no, that's what artists do. They fuck up with things until they look okay. Or as Fonzer would say, I'm gonna ruin it
Hey, Terry.
until I can get it.
There's a lurker among us.
Oh no,
Spoopy.
they're here.
Worker.
Spoops intensify.
Also, hey Terry, welcome to the voice chat. And why can't you hear us? Maybe it's muted or something?
It is.
Why can't you hear me on Twitch? Maybe check if your Twitch is muted? I don't know. If you're on your phone, it's possible that one application is kind of canceling the other. If you're not on your phone, then I have no earthly idea of what can possibly be happening. But luckily for you, we have 2 or 3 or a lot of IT guys in here, and they can help you. Sorry.
Get a new.
I'm on vacations actually, so
Oh no.
there's still a week.
So
I'm not ready for them to restart the computer.
Oh no. Maybe try to refresh the page. That always seems to work some issues. Although you can't hear us on the Twitch, so you're not listening to what we are saying. Let me
He's referring
see.
to the Discord, right, or the Twitch.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's muted on Discord.
Oh, I think I know what it is. I see it. Like, I have a headset and my computer at the same time. But if I enter on the Discord channel voice chat, it uses my headphone to sound the voice chat, not my computer
yes.
sound.
So use different sound sources.
Yes.
That might
So
be
make sure
it.
the default sound is your main source.
Have you tried to turn it off and on again? Oh my god.
Oh, we got it.
Always works. And also, hey Terry, glad it's working now. So yeah, I don't know. We were talking about being edgy, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so we went on a lot of edge, so we are very edgy boys now.
We are so at the edge.
Trying to find a way to entertain ourselves.
Yeah, true. And now I gone and did some ruining on this picture. I lift up the arm a little bit. I think it looks better. If it doesn't, then well. You guys know my emails and the means to contact me, so you guys can complain all you want. You do have the
Complaints
means.
intensified.
You have the means to go and complain to me about how inaccurate my artwork is. Okay, so let's
Okay,
get you.
let me write a mail.
Oh no. This
What?
a strongly worded email is coming in my direction.
Yes. 2,000 words or more.
Because I said the way I have the character holding the gun is different. Kind of not holding it too tight. That's complicated. Maybe try not to do too complicated things at first. But kudos for trying out new things. But do post it on the Discord channel and we'll take a look at it eventually. And we'll talk to you about how it goes. Speaking of the Discord, if you guys don't know, there is a Discord channel you guys can join and talk to us when the streams are not happening, and it's a great place because everyone there seems so damn happy all the time. And speaking of which, Chandler, you did ask about commission prices, did you not?
Yes, I did, and I read your messages on there. Very much appreciated.
That's alright. But I think I wanted to say about prices. I don't know if it'll apply to you or if you agree or don't.
Hit me, fam.
Or if you're gonna be mad or angry. It's that you should try and find artists with skill sets or a style or time or like for how long they have been doing it. Try to find people with those that are pretty much like you, people who draw kind of like you do, people who have been drawing for as long as you have, and see how much they are charging for their art, for their illustrations and whatnot, and try to get an average and see, and then you see if what you're offering and what they are offering is too alike, too far from each other. And I think that's a good way to measure how good or how bad your prices are. But then again, finding prices for commissions is always kind of iffy. It's not a very exact science. But most of all, no, go on with what we were gonna say.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I've done some research since then because I've asked other people through other platforms as well, and they've mentioned similar things. And since then, I've done a little bit of research in that area, and so you know, since I'm still in the process of changing things, I'm just collecting data right now. And so, yeah, what you mentioned is really logical. And I agree. It makes sense.
I'm glad you do. But if you want to charge, a higher price, then you can. I mean, nothing's gonna stop you, and it's still possible that even with a higher than average price, you still do find buyers and people who are interested in your work. It's just not gonna be as easy, I feel.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be.
But then again, if you charge too cheaply, it's never gonna reflect too good on you, because first of all, you are not respecting your job as much by charging a low price, but it also diminishes the other artists out there because they are gonna have to lower their own prices to compete with you. So keeping the average of the community is the best way to go, because you're making sure you're not screwing everyone else by going too cheap or too pricey when it comes to commissions.
Yeah, that's the trick, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
massive balancing act.
You have to keep up with your own numbers, but you also have to keep the community in mind, because you are part of it. Or you can ignore me and go your own way. That works too.
I guess that's always an option for anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how good of an idea that is, though.
Like I mentioned before, people who do commissions usually start small when it comes to prices.
Yeah, that is true as well. But like I said, you may not want to go too low on prices. Because
The
of the
higher
whole...
the price, the higher the quality expected.
Just start with the starter price that's more suitable. Something that people can appreciate.
Yeah.
What?
But despite that, I mean, I think you're gonna find a lot of resources out there, more data to measure your work and such. And I think you will reach a price tag that you feel comfortable with, that your clients feel good with, and it's beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, I'm confident.
It usually depends on the person making the commission prices and the clients.
But yeah, that's what I have to say, and that's also what everyone else said. So go for it and do some art. I know people out there are just dying to get stuff for you. You just have to begin.
Just gotta be there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Thick Boy is looking good.
He is, actually. I hope.
Big fluffy boy.
I'm not getting the I'm not getting the color from the reference. I'm trying to go my own way with the colors. So I might fuck up every now and then. Hopefully, not too much. Because I did go over with you guys on the whole way I color things. I think some of you do remember that. And the way I color things, I keep in mind like realistic lighting settings. So I try to take colors that are not too saturated. And the reference sheets for characters normally come with very saturated colors. So if I go and apply the effects that I normally apply on top of it all, then the colors get kind of wonky.
Big fluffy tail indeed.
So yeah, I normally don't follow the reference sheet colors. I try to find my own version of those colors in a less saturated kind of part of the spectrum.
More realistic.
Not as entirely realistic, just less saturated, because afterwards I'm gonna add even more saturation to it through the multiply and overlay layers. But wow, you guys keep saying a lot of stuff in the chat.
Yeah, trying to be more sociable. That's not how you do that!
I don't have to sound.
It's like this.
So, Kaze, you ask, why do I do that thing, the black filling thing, and I'll get to that in just a second. Till what time will I stream? You might join us in the voice chat. I think I'll be streaming for either 1 hour or until I'm done with this drawing terrain. So it might be less than an hour. And Leo is a big fluffy tail on a big fluffy boy. And indeed, there he is. So Kaze, the whole black filling thing. Let me go over it once again. If you look at, I mean, this is not still completely done, the coloring. But I use the bucket tool to fill up the coloring. So if you zoom in, you can see that there are little white spots, especially in corners or when I draw multiple lines in a tight space. There's a lot of these white spaces. They don't fill in pretty well because of the properties of the bucket tool. And these are bad because when you do apply background color and effects and everything, those do break the composition and you can notice those small details here and there. So I do this black filling thing. I take the color, I multiply the layer, then I fill it with black, and then I go manually filling over these black spots. And so when I have the color, all those white spots are filled. So when you have the liner on top of that, these spots, instead of being white, they are black. And since the black spots mix better with the line art, then it looks like it's part of the line art instead of being a random white part like this. So that's why I do that. There are many other ways you can go around that. One of the best ways is if you color manually. So if you actually get the color and go and manually fill in the area you wanna paint, that way you can avoid this kind of issue. But that does take a lot of time. And since my line art is normally closed off, there's no open areas like this one here. I just use the bucket tool because it's faster and it's more convenient when you do comics and you have to do 5 or 6 panels per page. So that's that. But then again, there are many other ways to go about doing this, and I'm not sure if this is the best way to go, but it's the way I use, and it is the more practical way for me to do this.
It just depends on how much line work you do. For myself, in my finished pieces, the line art is either very weak or non-existent, and so I use the selection tool like 99% of the time. I don't think I've ever used the bucket tool for mine because that just won't work.
Yeah, I mean, if you do use the select tool, it's the same as filling in manually, like I said. So the chances of you having those white spots every now and then, it's non-existent. So it's even better. But then again, it's good for you because you don't have very thick outlines like I have. my drawings, so it works for you.
Which oddly enough, doing thicker lines and doing work that's more stylized has always been very difficult for me, because I've just been interested in real life and realism and stuff. And so doing things like what you're doing right now is probably the most difficult thing for me to do artistically anyway, as far as styles go.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, I think so. Because it's just because you're using far less lines, and your lines have to convey more information. And so if you misplace a line, it's very noticeable.
I see. Yeah, that came mostly from seeing how other artists were doing this. Like I said, I went and read other comics. One of them, Saga by Fiona Staples. I mean, illustrated by Fiona Staples. And the way she goes around solving these kind of issues was like magic to me. So I started to follow that and do that myself in my own artwork. So I don't know, maybe looking to how other artists are doing what they are doing, that can give you some help when it comes to trying to find out the best way to do something.
I'm finally on.
Hey,
Terry!
welcome to the voice chat and the stream and everything.
Thanks.
How are you doing? Are you feeling better? Are you still feeling ill? What's up?
I'm feeling much better thanks to the medicine I've been taking.
Praise.
Oh, that's good. Also, the crazy chicken soup did help as well, right?
Yeah, more or less.
More or less.
More or less?
So it didn't work?
I kind of put too much water, so I didn't really taste the chicken inside in the soup.
Oh, that's sad. But still.
But yeah, it was hot water, so it was nice for my throat and my stomach.
Well, at least you're feeding yourself well, so that's half the way to getting better. Now, like I said, get lots of water and drink plenty of rest. You should be.
And drink plenty of rest.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. I know I would have made the same mistake. So.
No, I think that was on purpose, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the joke?
Yeah, that's. Come on.
I gotcha.
Sorry.
You shouldn't have to explain jokes. Oh well.
But that's the funniest part of jokes, is when you have to explain it, and then people slowly stop caring, and then it gets awkward AF.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It's the best part.
Really?
Yes.
Somebody said something to that effect. That explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. You learn how it works, but it dies in the process. So,
Wow.
So yeah, you killed my frog.
Sorry, I didn't know.
It's
That's
okay.
okay.
It died as it lived.
I mean,
That sounds dark.
it gave its life for science, so everyone's here appreciates what the frog did, so it's okay.
Its sacrifice was not in vain.
No.
Well, I didn't know you were making jokes, so.
I mean, yeah. It's
Now I
an
know.
an easy joke to mistake for a typo or something, so it's okay. Like I said, I'm not good with jokes, so I may say a joke and nobody will get it, and then I'll go like, oh no, whatever. So don't worry, it's okay. What is important is that you're feeling somewhat better and that you're here with us. There's so many fun people here today.
Ditto.
You're not good with jokes?
Not at all. Have you ever seen me joke once? I don't joke.
I'm so good that I don't even laugh.
When I joke, people cry.
Oh, please!
Why did you tell me this? Why?
I've seen Mike tell a joke before and I thought that was funny.
But that's the thing, when I'm writing a comic, I have like a shitload of time to research jokes and think it out. When I'm conversing with a person or a bunch of person, like right now, I don't have enough time to come up and think on a joke. So I end up saying stupid shit most of the time. And
I thought that was funny.
so you can consider